Hey, this podcast is brought to you today by June LuLoy. If you are an interior designer, you probably already know about LuLoy and how great of a rug resource they are. Now imagine that same industry expertise and design know-how expanded into a total home framework. That's exactly what they have achieved with their sister company, June LuLoy. June LuLoy offers everything from rugs and furniture to lighting and decor, all with the same commitment to design and quality you know LuLoy for. Check them out. Go to JuneLuLoy.com. That's JoonLoloi.com and sign up for their trade program to get perks like their trade-only discount. That's JuneLoloi.com. Welcome to A Well-Designed Business. My name is LuAnn Nigara, and I'm so glad you found this podcast. Together with my husband Vince and our partner Bill, we have grown our company Window Works from the ground up. So I know and I understand the challenges you face in running your interior design business. I also know that your talent alone isn't enough to ensure your success. So on this podcast, we talk about strategies and practical steps to help you grow your business. But make no mistake about it, we have our share of fun here too, mixed in with those aha moments that I love so much. This isn't fluff. Nobody has time for that. Whether you are a new interior designer or a seasoned designer, I am here to help you create and to manage the kind of interior design firm that you dream of. It's straight talk and it's action. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi, welcome to A Well-Designed Business. Today is a What Would Lou Do episode where you send in your questions about your business and I answer them right here on the show. If you've ever wondered, what would Lou say I should do about this? Or how would Lou process this problem? I'm more than happy to help. Just head over to LuAnnNigara.com/WWLD and submit your question there, and then I'll answer it on air. Now, today's question comes from a creative entrepreneur who is not an interior designer. Instead, this entrepreneur creates highly customized, luxury-level product that is tailored specifically to your project, your specific client. She shared with me that her work is very collaborative, meaning she's not offering something from a collection, but instead designing it from scratch to align with your vision and your client's story. Think of this person as a trade partner along the lines of a completely custom wall covering line, maybe a one-of-a-kind lighting designer, a bespoke rug designer where you get to design specifically with that artisan for your client's space. This kind of offering is deeply personal, highly customized, and I'm going to assume at a luxury price point. So she's asking me, do designers want this level of collaboration? Or do they prefer to work with established brands that have samples and structures and, screens to order things in, right? And what I'm going to say is underneath that, I think what she's really asking is there a place in our industry for how I do what I do? And I'm going to tell you the answer is yes, 100% yes. And the answer is also no. Not if you're trying to do it in the way that more established brands that have samples and collections and all of the things already lined up do it, okay? Because this isn't really a question about collaboration. This is a question about market fit. And I want to say to you, my dear What Would Lou Do writer, I hear your question. If you're asking if designers even want to work this way, if there's a place for this level of customization and collaboration? And the answer is yes. Every designer listening is like, heck yeah, there is. But the answer is, but not everywhere. Now, I want to take a moment to refresh my writer here of the question and you as well to the recent episodes with Kate O'Hara. Kate O'Hara is the CEO of O'Hara Interiors. And by the way, she is the new co-owner with Nicole Heimer of Glory and Brand of the Design Influencers Conference. Yes, I can finally say it out loud. Kate joins me every quarter for the series In Good Company, CEO Conversations with Kate O'Hara, where we talk about the next level challenges in your businesses. Challenges beyond I need a process. Challenges beyond I need to understand my numbers. Challenges beyond I need to make my first hire. Kate and I discuss how once you have these things in place, you realize, geez, that didn't exactly make everything as easy as I expected. Now, with those things under control, you discover a new level of problems because that's what business is. It's like learning baseball. First, you learn how to hold the glove and the bat and the rules, the games, the fouls, of base running. And at first, it's intimidating, but you practice, you learn, and you get it. But is that it? Are you set? No. Because now you have to learn to discern strikes from balls, turn double plays, and think strategically, not about just this play, but the next one. Business is the same. The more you know, the more you realize there is to learn. And for me, this is exactly why I can talk about this every day for the past 40 years, as well as the past 10 plus years on my 2 podcasts, because you can always get better at business. So in episodes 1148 and 1157, Kate explained that there are 3 different tiers of luxury clients, and each one requires a completely different approach. At the entry level, you need to be visible. At the mid-level, you need to be distinct. And at the highest level, you need to be discreet and relationship-driven. These 2 episodes are worth every blasted minute of your time. I promise you. The number of DMs and emails I've gotten on these 2 shows is overwhelming. We will link them in the show notes. So why did I go into all that? Well, let's apply that thinking here. This type of offering that you have, something highly custom, highly collaborative, and at a luxury price point, this is not for the visible client, okay? This is not for the visible designer, every designer that you see on Instagram. It's not even for the most distinct level designer. This is for the discerning level designer, and that is a very specific slice of our industry. So let's just call it what it is. 80% of the interior designers out there are probably not your target client for this level of customization and artisan, right? That's not a problem. That's a defined niche. And you know how much I love highly niche businesses, because here's where passionate creators like you and designers can get tripped up. You think, this is so good, more people should want it. No. The more custom, the more expensive, the more complex. The smaller and more specific the market for it becomes. Going back to Kate, she said, each level of client wants a completely different experience. At the highest level, whether we are talking about your client, the interior designer, or we're talking about the clients of interior designers, they are not looking for 92 options. They are looking for bespoke, custom, unique for them, in addition to seamless execution, discernment, trust, expert guidance, and strong leadership of the project. So when you're offering something like what you described to me in your question, you're not selling a commodity product. You have to understand what you are selling. I will help you create something no one else has, and I will do it in a way that supports your process, not complicates it. That's your offer, right? Not the thing that you're selling the designer community. Now, how do you do that? Because this is where the disconnect usually is. Designers can discover new resources in a myriad of ways at furniture markets, from each other, through digital and print magazines, all valid. But as you move into the higher level projects, the higher level designers, and their clients, the I stumbled on it discovery happens less and less. At the highest level, designers are far more often introduced to resources through people and other sources they already trust, just like Kate described in her episode about the clients of designers. So yes, visibility might get you on the radar, right? So if you're visible, Instagram, emails, all the things, this is to my writer of the question, yeah, you might get on the radar. You might get a secondary notice. But the relationships are what's going to get you in the door. and specified. So strategy at this level of custom is not broad visibility. It's proximity, it's trust, and it's reputation. That means getting in the room with established firms. And again, you might say, great, Lou, how? Well, many design firms at this level have what they call vendor days, where they invite a new resource in their studio to present to their team. That's where you belong. This is making personal phone calls, starting with your local design area. And believe me, there are more designers than you realize in any given geographic area. I have to tell you, after having WindowWorks for more than 30 years, existing in the same town with an annual marketing budget of mid six figures, you wouldn't believe the number of designers that we learned about and learned about us at WindowWorks only after I started a podcast. It's crazy how you can market yourself every dang day and people still don't see you or know of you, right? So the first step is get in the door, make the phone calls, reach out to the firms, ask to speak to the principal. And sometimes you won't even speak to the principal. Some of these firms, they have someone in the firm that manages these and okays these meetings. But they'll look at you and say, we've got, June open. We do this on the second Tuesday of every month. I don't have an opening until June. It's okay. Go make these meetings. And then the next step is, once you have the presentation, you can't just fade away. You got to build a relationship. Does that particular firm belong to IDS, ASID, or the WCAA? Can you get in more of the rooms that they are in? Go to the local design events that they go to. Become a human to them, not a product. Then you will find, as you develop an actual meaningful relationship with a designer, she or he will tell their colleagues, their friends about you, and they will begin to make the introductions for you. I built our designer business at WindowWorks exactly this way, starting in 1983. Lots of calls, lots of no's, lots of it's not for me. And more than a few, you look like you're 12. Are you kidding me? Okay. Finally, one designer, I'm telling you, I probably made 30 phone calls. One designer said yes and gave us a try. And then within 6 months, a call from another designer who said, my friend, XYZ designer, told me about you. From there, that designer told a colleague of his, who told a colleague of his. I'm not making up the story here. The first 12 designers we ever worked with came from what I'll call two trees. One from the designer I cold called who said yes, and the other was from a designer that we did a show house for. This is deep work. It's intentional work. It is methodical work. It is not for the faint of heart. You can't think about, count, dwell on the no's. Just keep plugging till you get the yeses, okay? It's not doing something today and deciding tomorrow it didn't work. If your goal is to lose 10 pounds, do you try for one day and say, this will never work? No, not if it matters to you. If your health is on the line, you're going to do what it takes. Well, if your business is on the line, do what it takes. Build a Rolodex of designers, okay? A Rolodex of elite clientele, right? This isn't losing 10 pounds. This is losing 50 pounds. It's an everyday thing for months. It is perseverance. It's doing even when it feels like it's not working. It's being focused on the outcome, not the hard, messy middle part. It's not easy, but it's doable, okay? And another strategy, not instead of, but in conjunction with, is ask yourself, who already has the trust of the client you want? Okay? In your case, my dear What Would Lou Do writer, I feel very Bridgerton when I say that, local custom window treatment retailers and workrooms, local custom furniture makers, local interior photographers. These are all people who serve your target client in the same bespoke way you do, but with a non-competing offering. All right? So these are people, these are companies, these are entities that are already in projects, already working with the designers that you want to work with. Okay? And here's another thing. You're going to need proof. No designer at a high level is going to take a risk on concept. You need to show them real projects, real installs, real results. And I can see from your website, you have this already. So yay you. Your work and your designs are beautiful, truly. Now, for you, the designer listening, I want you to apply all of this to you as well. Same things. If you want higher level clients and higher level projects, you need to get better at design, yes, but you also need to align your deliverables, your client experience, your product offerings with the right tier of the client. And just like this creative entrepreneur today needs to build a relationship with you, you need to build relationship with architects, builders, and developers. And like I explained, and Kate did as well, these relationships take time, years sometime. She shared that builders often want to know you for 2 or 3 years before they refer you. Think about that. 2 or 3 years. So if you're sitting there wondering why aren't the bigger projects coming yet, the question is, are you in the right rooms? And have you gone to the room often enough? Do you keep going back, or did you go once and say it doesn't work? Right? All right. Wrapping this up. Not every product, every service, or every offer is for every designer, or in a designer case, for every client. There is no point in trying to serve everyone. That is a cat chasing its tail. The higher the level target client, the more precise your positioning must be. Discovery, right, might get you noticed, but the relationship is going to get you business at that level. You have to offer something special, and you have to reduce risk for the person hiring you. Whether you are the vendor or the designer, the path is similar. Find the right rooms, get in them, stay in them long enough to build trust. So, my What Would Lou Do writer, to finally answer your question directly, yes, there absolutely is a place for this type of collaboration with you and our design industry. No, it is not every designer you meet. And your success will come from focusing specifically on the ones who already operate at the custom bespoke level, right? So I hope that this was helpful both to my What Would Lou Do writer as well as for you listening. And as I said, if you haven't already, go back to listen to the episodes 1148 and 1157 with Kate O'Hara. I promise those episodes will sharpen everything I said today into a really crisp focal point. And also, if you have a question for me, like I said, go to LuAnnNigara.com/what would Lou do. All right. And before I close, I want to thank every creative entrepreneur out there that listens to the show that is not a designer. And I want to thank you, my writer of this, who submitted the question. It's a thoughtful question, and honestly, one that clearly applies to all of our businesses. There's one thing I want to tell you and explain to you before I go. When a designer writes in and says it's okay to share their name and business, I do. And this creative said it was okay as well. But in this case, because it's a trade partner, I am handling it a little differently because this episode is not meant to be a marketing opportunity. It is not a sponsored show. It's meant to be a teaching opportunity. And I know that's the intent that this person had a genuine question, and that aligns with my standard. But this is where I can use my own judgment as a business owner. Every once in a while, there's a situation where sharing the source adds context and value to the lesson for you, the designer, and you're my priority. And I think this is one of those times. So I am going to include the information for this potential trade partner for you in the show notes if you'd like to take a look. All right? Alrighty. Thank you for everybody that showed up today, for you, the creative entrepreneur who listens and wanted to learn something. I hope I helped you decide to be excellent. Thank you for joining me today. This podcast is a production of LuAnn Nigara, Inc. If you want to know more about me, my books, or LuAnn University, go to LuAnnNigara.com. And if you are interested in having WindowWorks help you with your next window treatment or awning project in the New York, New Jersey metro area, go to WindowWorksNJ.com to learn more. Have an excellent day.